What is going on? We're back with the CR80 build, and today we're going to start going the other way this time. We're going to start building it up, but first just a little problem to take care of. On the frame, I forgot that I need to modify these peg mounts a little bit because I want to put different pegs on. So this is the peg that I want to fit on there, so I got to do a little bit of modification to the peg mount. So I've got to cut this little existing nut that's been welded off, and I have to weld a new one on so that this back can rest on it and the peg will sit flush. I got that tacked up now. It's not the best of welds, but you can kind of get an idea what I'm going at here. Trying to get the new pegs to line up on the old frame. See if I can get that into focus there. Yeah, so just gonna weld these on a little bit better, and then after that I should be able to keep the peg on there and it should stay nice and straight for me. All right, we got the new pegs on, everything's all modified. Got it back on the stand, and now it's time to do up the engine bolts and get the engine back in, start building it back up. So the time has come to get that into there. So we got all the frame stuff taken care of, so now we can start going the other way and rebuilding. So we're gonna get at that right now, get the engine back in the frame. All right, so we got the engine in. It's looking pretty good so far. I left the mounting bolts loose. I'll go into it more when we put the swing frame in, because that really helps when you put that bolt through. But other than that, it's starting to go back together now, so I'm super stoked. So I've got a lot more room here on the bench, which is always good to see. So now we're gonna grab the swing arm and start greasing everything up, putting it together, and I think we can put the swing arm on the back of the engine right now. So I was mentioning before, putting the swing arm bolt in. I got the swing arm on now, and it was much easier to do without these two engine mounting bolts loose, because if it's not lined up perfectly, you're gonna have a lot of trouble putting that swing arm bolt through the swing arm and then through the engine and then back through the swing arm again. So it's better to leave those two engine mount bolts untorqued while you're doing the swing arm. Looking pretty good now. Just gonna send it. All right, so next up is all we gotta do is torque down the mounting bolts, and I gotta torque down the swing frame bolt, and then after that we're gonna get to the suspension and suspension linkage. Got the engine mounts torqued up now, so those are torqued to 25 pounds, and so now I'm gonna torque the swing arm bolt into place, and the nut is torqued to, I believe it said 53 foot-pounds. Swing frame all torqued in. That was at 58 pounds, not 53. I think I said 53 before. So it's all torqued up, and now we're ready to put the suspension in. the rear shock and the linkage. All right, so I got the shock linkage all ready to go in here. If you remember from a previous video, this was like super seized, all these bearings. They were pretty challenging to get out of there. I was a little bit afraid I might break this piece here, trying to get them out, because they were so seized in there. The collar was seized right to the bearings. So, but we got new ones here now. Got a kit from All Balls. They make a complete rebuild kit for these 8680s. So now just put them on the bike and put the shock on after. Alright, we got the linkage back on there, so that's moving much better than it did before. Before it wouldn't even move at all. So that will be a significant improvement, I'd say. So now I'm just going to find the torque specs for the nuts there and then just torque it up. Got the swing bolts all torqued up now. It's moving nice and free, looks good. So now it's time to put this thing in there. The rear shock looks just miles better than it did. Okay, so suspension linkage, check. Got the nitrogen chamber clamped back on the frame, and that about does it for that part of it. It looks much better than it did before. Can't wait to test the functionality of it, but I'm gonna have to get everything else back together. So obviously I'm gonna have to get the tires back on the rims and everything, and get the front built here. And then I'll go from there. But for now, that will be it, because I gotta put some more stuff together before I continue putting this together. But it's coming along pretty good. So I think that's gonna do it for this video. I got the bike about 30% assembled or so. Some more stuff has to get done. I gotta build the wheels back up again. I gotta build the triples. I gotta do a little paint on them. And after that, then I can start putting the everything back on the bike. As far as the engine goes, I could probably start doing the rad and the hoses and stuff like that, but I think I'm going to put a little bit of paint on the rad just to freshen it up a bit. So yeah, if you like what you're seeing, like, subscribe, and tune in for the next one. Thanks for watching.